Wave the front, please.
We're here. Quite a few people here today. And you have the Congresswoman. You have people that are representing you here. So you have North Miami Beach. You have the mayor of Miami Gardens, news organizations. And so the question is, what is this event about? Who is here and what's happening here? So, with that being said, I'm going to... Hello, so if you can see this clearly, please let me know. If you can't see it clearly, please leave a message. It's not clear, because that way I can change it to something else. All right, folks, if you are nice and clearly, please put a thumbs up. If not, I will have to switch to a hotspot. So my understanding is it's supposed to be an endorsement. I don't know of who, but her. It could be something. I'm gonna try to zoom in, but you know, this. All right, folks, this is Congresswoman Frederica Wilson in the green. Okay, hold on. Let me get my hotspot. Hello, hi, Kelly. Are you able to see clearly?
Hello. We need your attention. I'm gonna ask Mr. Rocky Baltimore to come up and get us started. Rocky Baltimore is from Hot 105.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if we'll kindly take your seats if possible. We're about to commence our program. I want to thank all of you for coming out on a Monday afternoon, and we're going to have a very informative session here this afternoon. First, I'd like to introduce to you our representative in the U.S. Congress from the 24th Congressional District. Please give a big round of applause for a wonderful
It's freezing. Hold on.
Years under President Biden, and then under Trump. I've seen such a change in what is happening in our nation. I've seen the hate that has evolved. I've seen so much vitriol aimed and people of color, and immigrants, and children and families, and people who just want to have a decent meal, go to work and take care of their children. I've seen it. So as I pondered that even never wears out, I knew that this day would come. So I began to survey the community of what I would call people who could walk in my shoes. Watching them, studying them, looking at them, seeing what they do, watching how they treat others. Because you know, my name is Frederica Prevention Wilson. Everyone in this race, except the Republicans, are sworn members of the 5,000 role models of excellence party. But only one stands up. Only one. And that weighs so heavily on my decision. You see, because God put a yoke on me when I was an elementary school teacher. Elementary school, and he put that yoke on me to watch out for little black boys. And many days as I became a teacher and an assistant principal and then a principal and a school board member and a member of the House, the Senate, and Congress, I would say, God, why did you give this to me? Why did you give this to a man? This is a heavy, heavy burden. And he would always say, I gave it to you, Frederica, because I knew you could do it. And you would continue. You would not give up on these boys. You would continue. You would love them. You would lift them up. You would pull in men to help you. You would raise money. You would send them to college. And you would treat them the same way that you treat Party. So each person in the race is a friend. But this is not personal. This is necessary. Keep that in mind. It's not personal. It's necessary. So I'm endorsing today. And I have receipts for my endorsement who will follow me as we see the gardens has blossomed, as we see businesses that have come into our community because of this young man and his gifts of leadership. We see him, we know him, we support him, we love him, and we appreciate what he has done for this community. And people would say to me, you ought to try to save this seat for Party. And I said, no. First of all, Party didn't want this. Second of all, this is not a job for a neophyte. It's a job for experience. You gotta be ready. The conference is hard. It's hard. They come at you every which way, and especially when Donald Trump I'm texting. You asleep. She's in the bed, I'm at home in my bed. She comes up with an idea, she texts me. I come up with an idea, I text her. And so that's the kind of relationship we have. So I have brought her here today because she is one of my receipts.
Thank you, Madam Congresswoman. I am forever in your debt for your confidence and for that great honor. Well, we're here in anticipation. And it's hard to know what to say about a man who is truly bigger than life and who lights up every room. Yes, and who speaks with confidence about every manner of topic. Oh, and his name is
So that is Oliver Gilbert that just walked in.
upstage once again. A man who lights up every room, who speaks with confidence around all manner of topics, who has shaped neighborhoods, cities, counties, and more with his expertise and his eloquence. He has been in training for this new role for a very long time. I would dare say his entire life. Oh, what I would give to know him as a child. So, I have had the privilege to watch this man in training for the last few years, especially up close, as I've served alongside him in County Hall. And I might just take a tiny bit of credit for teaching him a thing or two. But more so, he's taught me. He has taught me so much. For example, he has taught me to deliver remarks without written comments. He has taught me to be brief and to the point and to speak from my heart. And nobody is a better speaker than he. He has taught me not to speak too long and not to dance too enthusiastically. All right, I didn't learn that lesson. So let us acknowledge the significance of being here together in this house of the Lord today, for this event and for this day, as our heroine, Congresswoman Wilson, passes her torch. And we are going to feel the heat all summer long. So I will say, onward to victory!
Thank you, Mayor Pamela Levine. And our next speaker is the mayor of this wonderful city of Miami Gardens, Mayor Rodney Harris.
First and foremost, let me say thank you, Congresswoman, for this is democracy at its finest. Being able to be in a position where she could pass her torch and her legacy on to the next generation. I met this young man about 14 years ago. He and I was on the campaign trail, and we stopped and talked every day about where we wanted to place Miami Gardens and what we wanted to see in the city of Miami Gardens. How we wanted to take a city that people said would only be able to house pawn shops and grocery stores. We have transformed that into the epitome of a major city. Miami Gardens is one of the fastest growing cities in the United States. And I'm proud to say that the first mayor laid a foundation. Our second mayor, who we're talking about today, he created possibilities. And then it was my job to ensure that on that foundation that was laid, that the possibilities became reality. And that's where we are today. I understand the hard work that this man will put in to ensure that not only the people of Miami Gardens have what we deserve, but to ensure that democracy is felt throughout this entire country. When I was a council person, we worked hard to get things done. As his vice mayor, we continued to work on the county level, on the state level, and in the federal government as well. So I know him to be a hard-working man. I know him to be a leader amongst leaders. And I know him to be my friend. So I say to all of you today, we are here to celebrate and to watch democracy work, not only here in the city of Miami Gardens, but throughout Miami-Dade County and throughout this nation. And it's going to be done and handled by our new Congressman, Oliver Gill. May God bless you, may God keep you, and may God continue to watch over the United States and Miami Gardens.
Thank you, Mayor Harris. And we're going to have one of our extraordinary leaders of faith, Reverend Mark Jackson, come up and give us a few words. Please give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Good afternoon. There was a liberation theologian by the name of James Cone who wrote a book entitled God of the Oppressed. In this particular periodical, he asserted that God is never neutral, but God is always on the side of the most marginalized members of society. That God was a God of the oppressed. We've witnessed for decades the kind of leadership of Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, her concern for the most marginalized members of our society. We've watched her serve tirelessly, looking out for the last, the least, and the leftover. Legacy is so very, very, very important. Our mayor, Rodney Harris, talked about a foundation that he built upon that was laid by somebody before him. And I believe with all of my heart that the foundation that's been laid by our Congresswoman is not going to be fractured, not going to be forgotten, but will be built upon. I believe with all of my heart that the best person qualified to carry on this legacy is none other than the person of Oliver Gill. As his pastor and as his friend, I've watched him matriculate and grow, not only as a person, a politician, but an individual who's deeply concerned by those things that James Cone talked about in his book. The most marginalized members of society. It is no doubt in my mind that our district, District 24, is going to be the better with him carrying the torch that will be passed today. I ask in advance on his behalf that you not only participate with him, but pray for him. And pray for his family, pray for his children. Pray that God keep a hedge of protection around him. For the Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but there are principalities and powers in high places. And God knows in Washington there is some spiritual wickedness. But we need someone that's able to wear the whole armor of God. And I believe with all of my heart, Oliver Gilbert is prepared to wear the armor of God as we pray for him and participate with it. One more time, help me give God praise for Oliver Gilbert.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to, okay, just watch and see.
This is a wonderful, wonderful moment as I pass this torch to our next Congressman from District 24. We do it with strength, love, and brilliance, because we know that he will continue to deliver to this community the way that he always has. So I want you to stand as we celebrate and pass the torch to the next Congressman for the great District 24, Miami-Dade County. He has a huge job ahead of him, a lot of responsibility, because this district is one of the most diverse districts in the nation. And the way that they have drawn the lines, it is one of the poorest, where people need health care, they need housing, they need money for groceries, where mothers have sons in prison and will think that all of us can get those sons out of prison with a pen, stroke of a pen, and he cannot. But that's the kind of burden he will have to bear. So we're going to have to pledge to him as we give him this torch that we're going to continue to lift him up just the way you have lifted me up. We're going to have to lift him up through this journey, through this battle. And all of the mayors that he will represent have already represented them. And they know that I do not play. And they know that my word is my bond. So I'm endorsing you. Everybody in District 24 should be endorsing you. Like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may take your seats now. It's my privilege to introduce you to the wife of our future Congressman, Ms. Mercuria Gilbert.
Good afternoon. Kyria, Oliver's wife. My husband is an extraordinary man. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Awesome. I've watched him pour himself into our community, not because it's his job, but because he cares about people. He's a man who believes in family, service, and it's evident to me because of how he shows up in our household and in the community. He does whatever he can to leave things better than how he has found them. I've seen the long days, the difficult decisions, and the sacrifices that it takes. You guys, I'm a little bit nervous, okay? And the sacrifices that it takes with public service. Through it all, he has maintained his values, his integrity, his compassion, and what I love the most, he has kept his desire to serve and help others. I'm proud of everything that he has accomplished, but more importantly, I'm actually proud of how he accomplished them. He listens, he cares, and when he says he's going to do something, he actually does it. And that's the best. As his wife, I'm honored to stand beside him, but as someone who knows his heart, I know that he is going to move forward into this next chapter responsibly, with humility, and with deep determination to move us forward. I'd like to thank Congresswoman Frederica Wilson for your vote of confidence with Oliver. It goes without saying, it speaks volumes. I'm incredibly excited as to what's ahead, and I'm even more proud of this man that's standing here before us today. Thank you.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go down, so you'll probably have to see the rest on the news because I'm at 5%. So I'll try to get what I can.
So listen, I wasn't actually nervous till my wife spoke. So give another round of applause for my wife. And I love you. I know that you do not like public speaking, and so I really appreciate you for being here. I won't be before you long, but let me just say, let me start off with this. I need you all to rise to your feet with the extraordinary public servant that Frederica Wilson is. My good friends from Unite Here. Listen, we've been at it for a very long time. It's 2012, my mom's backyard. That's where the campaign headquarters were. And we've been working and talking about Miami-Dade County, the Miami Gardens that we were going to build together. And just looking at, I don't even like the color red like that. I don't know why. But just seeing you all actually means so much. Congresswoman, your endorsement means a lot to me for this reason, because a lot of people endorse and they have real words. She's endorsing and she's done the real work. She's done the real work that it actually takes to transform communities. She's done the real work to help little boys. She's done the real work to strengthen our economy. She's done the real work to invest in education. She's done the real work because she understands who we are as a county and who we are as a country and who we must become. That type of leadership means something. That type of endorsement means something. That's not an endorsement from someone who doesn't understand what's required. That's an endorsement from someone who's been on Capitol Hill, been working in DC, understands what's required of leadership, what's required of public service. That's important because these days are complicated and hard days. She understands what it's going to take. And so, another round of applause, please, for our Congresswoman. Like, his prayers for me have sustained me. They really have sustained me. To my good friend there, Papa, I know she had to leave. I did tell her not to dance in public. But she has a lot of energy and enthusiasm. She has to eat. But she is what she lacks in ability to dance, she makes up in her ability and her desire to actually serve. Her endorsement means something to me because when she's not a mayor who just talks to people during election time. She's always in our community. She's always in every community. She understands, as a former social worker, that people actually need things in this community. And she speaks to those needs. And so it's been my pleasure to be her partner in County Hall. I'm very, very happy to have her endorsement. And last but not least, Rodney Harris Ewell, my mayor. He is my mayor of Miami Gardens. When I said I can't be mayor anymore, the person when I talked to him. Because I knew that he had done something here in Miami Gardens. You know, in Miami Gardens, in 2012, people think about what it is now, but in 2012, we were like the 7th most dangerous city in the country. And what he said was, what the former manager said was, there'll only be, pawn shops and liquor stores. That's what he said. There was no development, the public infrastructure was crumbling. We stood outside of the library. It had to be 105 degrees. And in between voters coming in and out, we just talked about the city that we want to live in a city that people wanted to move to Miramar. I ain't moving to Miramar. I'm going to build what I want here in Miami Gardens. And to everyone who moved to Miramar, that's fine. I love your votes also. But in the real world, you shouldn't have to go someplace else to have a community that you're proud of. So we talked about that. We talked about that and why I believe it's important from my perspective to have the Congresswoman's endorsements because she's seeing everybody, she's endorsing the work that I do. When I said in All-American City in Rocky, you remember people laughed out loud. They literally laughed out loud. And what I said was, well, I've seen other All-American cities and we're better than them now. We just don't have as good a press. And I will tell you what we will do. We will reduce crime. We will engage the community. We will have businesses develop in this community. We will raise the standard of living in ways that people have never seen. And when I left in 2020, the very last month, we were named an All-American City because work actually matters. Work actually matters. In the county commission, when they told me that there were security guards who had to choose between coming to work sick or staying home because they were sick and not being able to take care of their family, I said, well, that's silliness. They're going to have paid sick leave. They're going to have paid sick leave because that is a proper expression of our values. And somebody said, well, you know, it's been tried before. And I said, it hasn't been tried before by me. They have paid sick leave now. Folks said they wouldn't get the collective bargaining agreements done because, you know, the Republicans in Tallahassee didn't want it. I said, well, I'm not in Tallahassee. I'm in Miami-Dade County. We're going to figure it out right here. When young parents said, hey, you say you value families, but the parental leave here in Miami-Dade County is something that's abysmal. They basically just want you to come back to work. You never have an opportunity to actually bond with your child. Well, listen, say less. We'll get that done too. But I point things out, not to say that anything was easy, but to say that if you give me a problem, I try to fix it. Because I don't believe in real words. I believe in real work. Real work. These are trying times. They are trying times, and we have big challenges before us, but we've always had big challenges before us. We've always understood what the horizon held, and we've always believed that we could actually change it. We've always believed that we, a small, committed group of people, who would persevere in our values and our efforts, who would aggregate our energy, could actually do something that is transformative. That's how America started. That's how civil rights were won. That's how we got things like Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and child labor laws. It was a small movement. What I suggest to you today is this. It's not just my candidacy, it's ours. We are that group of people. It's our turn. It's our time to actually stand for something, to stand for the idea that if you're in the richest country in the world, you should be able to afford to go to the doctor. Stand for the idea that, listen, if we can afford to send $7 million to Argentina, we can afford SNAP. If we can afford $1 billion a day for war and $14 billion for reflection food that wasn't even messed up, then we can afford to actually provide opportunities for people who are here. And that's not retreating out of the world, that's understanding who we are and understanding that how we express our values.
I'm going to go down because I'm at 1%. Okay, sorry, guys.
And so spending our money, $7 billion